What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Firahs podcast. This is the podcast where your boy talks his shit. It's all my opinion. Everything that I talk about is what I believe. Nobody else has got any input to it. And this is episode 3, man. Getting into episode 3. Obviously, episode 1 and 2 have been out, doing a lot of practice episodes. Again, it's another solo one. Coming from next week. Obviously, this will be dropping on Friday. I'm filming on Thursday, so we're dropping tomorrow. Coming from next week, we'll be having a lot more guest involvement. We've got a couple of practice. We've got a co-host that will be joining us as well, who may also be part of the Firahs podcast in the future. So a lot to come in this podcast. But listen, when the intro goes too long and I run out of words, it's madness, isn't it? So I say we get into it, man. Obviously, before we get into podcast, I always had a sip. Like last time, I was thinking I was sipping gin. And then it was Magnum. This time, we got a little Crofters. You get me? For the cameras. I don't know if the camera's capturing that. We've got a little Crofters. Apple cider. Kept it cheap today. I ain't making no money on this podcast right now. So why am I keep spending bare pee on drink? I don't know. Don't ask me about it. So yeah, I got that in my cup right there. So let me take a sip. Don't know if you lot saw that spill. It's matting. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We're going to talk a lot about music today. And I feel like today will be a perfect opportunity to start off with why hip-hop artists are struggling to sell over 100k first week most recently. Now, this is more of a feat for American artists. UK is a little bit different. But I thought it was interesting. Obviously, Trippie Redd is an artist that we all expect to be selling over 100k. He sold 55k first week. Ice Spice, who also had a big single, should I say, with Munch, sold 15.4k first week. We've had various other artists within America selling less than 100k first week, and it's been an ongoing conversation, basically just trying to figure out why are all these artists selling less than 100k first week. What is going on with hip-hop? Obviously, there was a big discussion because Taylor Swift, she took over the whole top 10 single. She dropped a album that's been released 10 years ago and released it again and was still doing 600k first week. Drake recently, his numbers hasn't been in the realms that we all expect of over 500k first week. So the conversation has kind of been, what's going on with hip-hop? Is hip-hop coming down? In terms of the charts, no, because when they come out, they do seem to do very well first time or first week. Obviously not selling hugely amounts, but in terms of charting, they are charting. So if you see a spot on my lip, allow me, it's just really bugging me. Literally just a spot. But yeah, so I thought that was an interesting thing, and I want to kind of talk about the UK scene as well, because one thing I've learned and one thing I found crazy about the UK scene is they clearly don't like posting first week sales. The labels don't want us to see it, because I was looking for first week sales for Stormzy, Little Sims, H to give my debate on UK versus US weekly sales, just to see where we're at, right? And it's completely different. And it's interesting because Stormzy, on a lot of their website, they kept trying to add all of his albums and told me, he's on 600k sales in the UK, but they were adding like 2 albums. I'm like, huh? I just want to know what one album did. I don't want to know what all of them did. Which is interesting. Now, Stormzy, let's talk about his most recent album, which was This Is What I Mean. It went to number 1, did very well. Now, I believe it was Gang Signs and Prayers, which did 69k first week. It went to number 1. So I looked at it, maybe 60 to 80k is what Stormzy will be doing in UK, which is very good, by the way. That's essentially Drake numbers in America. Too. What Stormzy did here is Drake in America. That's how little we sell, but how good those sales are as well, if you want to put it into that perspective. Like, Stormzy is winning. Stormzy is miles apart of a lot of artists within the UK when it comes to sales. Interesting, Little Sims, No Thank You. I was looking to try and find the sales for that. It peaked in the top 10, I believe. But it didn't peak at number 1. I think it was like number 4 or 5. I got to double check that. But it did pretty well, right? And the interestingly thing I think with that is I can't see Little Sims selling more than 20 to 30k first week. I look at H, Close to Home. Close to Home, again, was an NFT thing. It did chart. It wasn't. I don't remember seeing it charting very high, but it did chart. It did very well. Obviously, got the tracks with Baby Ashanti. It's got that My G with Ed Sheeran on it as well. So, some good songs on there. Um, Close to home as well. I'm looking at in that same realm of 15, 20k, 30k first week sales. Right now, the funny thing is when I was looking for the weekly sales for H's one as well, they kept talking about, oh my god, the streams are so high, 5 million, 5 billion, whatever. Oh my god, oh my god, like YouTube views, and I'm like, bro, give me the sales. Stop telling me about streams and all this other stuff. I just want to know the sales. But anyway, they wouldn't give us the sales. So I just take it as UK labels just don't want to talk about weekly sales, which is fine. Weekly sales doesn't really mean anything apart from just how hot you are that week. Like, if your impact for that album is what everybody wants to listen to within that week, like when you drop, do we care kind of thing for that week. That's how I see weekly sales. Anyways, everybody can have their own interpretation of that. It's all cool. It doesn't really matter. There's no right. There's no wrongs either. But I wanted to talk about it when it comes to hip hop and not being able to drop the kind of numbers we was dropping 2-3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I just think, and this is what I'm thinking now, because you gotta also remember when you're selling music, the core fans will always follow. But it's all about almost like the casual listener and what the casual listener still wants. Now, what I think, and this is my personal opinion, a lot of hip-hop artists drop too much off the same music. They drop too much off the same thing. And for that reason alone, it's like once you hear the old album, it's like, but do I really need to hear this album? And I think the problem with a lot of these rap artists, forgive me if I'm wrong, I may not be right, but it's the fact that they're dropping music that I believe the casual listener has already heard. So for people like me and you who want to hear bars on bars all the time, we will love it because they're going to drop the music that we're going to drop. But the casual listener that already heard that, they're not literally, they like to hear something different. Casual listeners don't necessarily listen to the same type of music over and over again. They're always searching for what's new and what's hot and what's popping right now and what's cool. And unfortunately, a lot of these artists that keep recycling their music, like nobody wants to hear that again and again and again and again. Bro, if you're dropping real raps, okay, cool. They want to hear something different the next time. They're not trying to hear the same real rap because they'll just listen to your old album because they already like the album. Does that make sense? So I think for that reason only, the conversation surrounding music and how you should drop music and who it's for is very important, because right now I'm seeing a lot of artists thinking they was hot, but they're not hot now. Like Trippie Redd, I was talking about 55k first week. Should be doing 100k with the 55k first week. We can also talk about the break he took. He hasn't dropped for I don't know, it wasn't that long ago. It was about a year, I think, maybe. I don't know. But Trippie Redd, for me, when I think of Trippie Redd, I just remember the 6ix9ine thing. Like, that's when Trippie Redd was booming. Him, 6ix9ine, that whole saga, the beefs, all of that. That's when Trippie Redd, to me, was making a lot of noise. I feel like since then, he hasn't really done much of a noise until now. And you gotta remember as well, like, his label dropped one of his singles as like an Avengers thing, like a DJ Khaled type vibe, where it was like he was gonna have like all the hottest artists on his album. You're thinking, bro, like this is like a DJ Khaled album, but as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Avengers, bro, they really built this up to be the hottest thing in the streets. And you had Little Baby moaning on a track, literally going on a track, bro. Like, bro, was he just beaten whilst, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, was he just beaten? If you've not seen the case in that reaction to Little Baby verse on that Trippie Redd joint, check it out. It was hilarious. Just Google it, YouTube it, I don't know, like Snapchat it, Twitch it, you know what I mean? That reaction was exactly what I was singing. I was like, why is he moaning, bro? Shout out to Little Baby though. But yeah, I think that's an interesting thing. And one thing also with Ice Spice, I put Coil Ray in that kind of same bracket. Like when you're popping on these social medias or you're popping or you're having a moment, you also have to remember that does not mean you're hot as a musician. I think content wise, when you got the dances going, you got the things going online, that's a different avenue to actually being an artist. Like, you can be Jason Derulo, pop on social media, but still sell a million copies first week. I'm not saying he does that. I'm just giving you an example, right? Just probably used the wrong name, but that's what I'm saying. Ice Spice, I think 15.4k first week is a win for Ice Spice. I think it's her first drop. She's literally just blowing up in a couple of months. That's a W. I remember when Coyle Ray came out with her album. I think it did it did just under 10k first week, or maybe like 11k, 10k, just under 10k. I got to double check that, but something like that. It was very low. A lot of people said it was an L, but I think it was an L because the way Coyle Ray made out that she was still very hot, and I think the way that she was portraying herself to be like one of the biggest female rappers right now. Oh, she had a drop with Nicki Minaj as well, probably added to the gas. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you pop in on social media, you kind of have to build your audience still, because popping on things like TikTok, if you got a dance, by the way, Coyle Ray has another song on TikTok that just put that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it goes. I don't know the words, but like, she's got another song that's popping right now on TikTok. And I think if you're going to stay in that realm, then don't complain when you don't make the sales, because they're only chasing a single moment that you're dropping with that single. They're not chasing a full body of work. So, yeah, I think that's an interesting point when it comes to UK hip-hop sales. Again, we were talking about Taylor Swift beforehand, and, you know, with Taylor Swift being able to be the first artist to have all singles in the top 10 is crazy. But I generally think pop's coming back. Harry Styles doing crazy. You got 1975s in the UK doing crazy. I generally think pop is coming back to take over hip-hop very, very, very soon. I just think the content-wise from hip-hop, it's gone kind of down. I think people need to check out, like, I got personal friends who makes hip-hop music, like K-Triggs. K-Triggs is another good artist. You don't need to go check out K-Triggs. Did this thing with Max Cyrus. Dope. And another guy called Omar was on that joint. Listen, that whole body of work's crazy. And that's what I like in music, like real rap, storytelling, gives you a feeling. You get me? That's kind of music. But that's not the kind of music that's popping right now in the industry. It's all this pussy money weed-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of shit that we don't care about it no more, but it's what's popping. Drill is popping right now. For so how long? I don't know. But after all that talking, sit. Oh, yeah, it's great. Shout out to my drink, man. But you know what? Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how far hip-hop can go from now on. But I just generally feel like real rap needs to come round and save hip-hop a bit. I think hip-hop has lost its way. If you listen to my last episode, we was talking about an EastEnders actor doing drill, claiming to be gang in the streets. I mean, if we're really debating a Don from a soap opera talking drill, talking like he's killing dons in the street, I'm telling you, there's a problem within hip-hop right now where actors are acting, bro, in the scene. How we allowed this? Fam, how we just got to the point where actors or just people that have no affiliation with the streets are dropping hits? Come on, man. Like, I can't even lie to you, man. Like, you know what? I do music here and there, and obviously I've done a drill song. It's called, I think it was called Keep Talking, bro. I can't remember my own music. At no point was I talking like I was greased. Now, the man them on the tunes, you know, they dropped the verses, they did their thing. You get me? They told you what they was on about in the streets. Right, my mic's all like dropping, like mid talking. They told you what was going on in the streets, but I didn't have to, because I don't do that. I mean, I dropped a little hook, a little, you know what I'm saying, a little something, a little sauce on there, but I couldn't act like I was like doing things in the streets, right? Because I'm not, and I don't want to be capping like that. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Bruv, I don't know. Like this scene right now is really bothering me. It's one of them ones where it's starting to lose credibility, and I just don't really want to see that within the UK. I think the UK is bigger, better, stronger than that. Obviously, not just UK, rap in general is better than that. I mean, I have no problem with Little Tecca. I remember Little Tecca came out and told him, well, no, I'm not about this gun thing. Like, man, just play Call of Duty or whatever he was saying. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're losing credibility within hip-hop. And hip-hop has always been about authenticity. And, you know, Tupac used to sell that. Biggie used to sell that. And you don't have to be a street dude to talk about your upbringing within rap. And I think that's something that people need to understand, that you don't have to be a gang member to rap anyways. Look at Will Smith, one of the corniest rappers of all time. Never swore and wasn't really talking street stuff. Like, he was, and he won a Grammy. He did his thing. People respected him. Maybe not rap street culture, but people respected him. People messed with him. Will Smith was out here doing his thing. You don't have to be street. Shout out to Fresh Prince. You get me? So all I'm going to say is, listen, in terms of going back to UK sales, first week sales, for hip-hop, if the content doesn't change as you as an artist, you're going to keep dropping the same thing over and over and over again. Don't expect to make more sales than the last one, because we've heard it all before and we don't care. Facts. So yeah, that's the conversation to do with UK versus American week sales for hip-hop artists. Another conversation that I thought was quite funny, MTV Pimp My Ride. Obviously there's a UK version of that going on right now, and then there's this girl that kind of like came out super annoyed with what they did to their car. It went moldy, yada yada yada. Like I might play the video on. You might see the video being played on screen, but I don't know if it's gonna have sound. If I do play it with sound, then it will just cut off at some point. Play the video, and then we'll carry on talking. This is literally for me when I'm editing. So when I say that stuff, listen, we're just filming it live. Man, don't have time. You know what I'm saying? But I want to actually talk about just MTV content in general. Remember MTV Cribs? We had, MTV obviously Pimp My Ride. Why are we still doing this in 2022? Oh, sorry, in 2023, should I add? Like, why are we still seeing content about pimping up whips and cribs, or lying about cribs, because that's what all artists did? I don't think MTV Cribs is a thing, but in terms of Pimp My Ride, bro, who's really pimping up a whip in 2023? Let's talk facts. Like, you're gonna get stopped with the police 99% of the time. Like, maybe a cool rap or something is dope, or if you're rich, do your thing, because you can do a thing to a car, but you don't have to actually then drive it. I think for people like this woman right here who was complaining about her car and Pimp My Ride, it was a bit more interesting because she generally was complaining. Obviously it went moldy, but it was an old banging whip and yada yada yada. Like, it just didn't seem to go well for her. And in my head I just kept thinking, why are you doing this show? It's 2023, like, it's not 2006. Like, you don't need to do that anymore. Like, to be fair, like, we are pretty pimped out in our whips anyways. Like, you know what I mean? Most cars now, you got built-in sat navs. Like, you know what I mean? You got an iPad, you can just juke it up on your whip. Like, you don't need any of this random stuff, like all this random stuff. Like, listen, getting a speaker in the back on your whip isn't that hard to do. Like, it's quite cheap, easy, simple. So I just thought that's an interesting thing to do with MTV Pimp My Ride. To be honest with you, I don't really have much of an opinion. I just thought it's hilarious, and for the title, I'm gonna talk about it. So let me have a little more sip of my little apple cider. It's actually really nice, I can't lie. Wow. Laughing gas in possession or to sell to be banned in the UK. I think this is a very good idea. I've never understood laughing gas anyways. I've heard about so many people dying from, inhaling too much laughing gas. I've done it once, maybe twice. I think it was like once, really. It was with like a boy I used to chill with back in the day, and like, he was into it, so he bought like a lot of laughing gas, and then he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I did it, like, okay, cool. Like, you get like a little rush for like a couple seconds, and then it dries off, and then you're like, it might crease for bro, it's dead. It's so dead. Like, it does nothing. And to the people that sell it as well, you might just be extra. Like, you lot are extra. But all I'm going to say about laughing gas, and again, I don't want to go too much into it because I don't care, but I think it should be banned. I think it's sad how much young people have access to these things. It's too easily accessible for the youth then. And at the same time, like, I just don't think that's something that kids should really be seeing. So for that reason only, I agree to have it banned within the UK. I think it just should be like, don't sell it. I don't care. Like, but that's for me who doesn't take it. For people who do take it, let me know what you guys are thinking. I want to know what you lot really think. I might put a poll on Spotify, so if you're locked in, check out the polls. I'm kind of really interested to know if laughing gas is something that's important to you guys, for people that are in that kind of industry. Is that something you don't care about? Is it something you need? I want to know. Let me know in any form of comment sections that you can find anywhere or in a post. And I want to know, laughing gas banned for possession or to sell. So let me know if that is something that you want to care about. Now, another conversation, which is funny. RD, UK artist, was called a one-hit wonder on a TikTok live. Now, bear with me for a couple of seconds while I pull it out on my phone, because I ain't a TikTok guy. So I just saw this video. I'm trying to remember where I posted it now. I believe it was on my Street Sessions account. There you go, I found it. So I'm going to play a little clip. Have a listen.
I don't think already, bro. Do you get me? Man sees you, your little music career with your one-hit wonder and that.
Ooh.
Nah, bro. One-hit wonder.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah, who's this guy? I can't even tell if your bridge is bantering or not.
Nah, Tommy. Wait. You can't call him a one-hit wonder, though. That's
one-hit wonder.
How?
Yes, I've done my research. The only reason why you bust on the music thing is because your mum busts Juju, fam. Do you get me?
Anyways, listen, we're not going to listen to the whole thing. But a guy from TikTok who I was told, I believe his name is Tommy, Bouncer was there. Don't really know who the host is, and Artie was there, right? Listen, this is how I'm uninformed with this TikTok thing, yeah. So if I don't know you, don't get emotional. But I know the host is. Anyways, yeah, he's whatever, right? Now, interestingly, I had to do my little Google research and check out what's Artie done. Is he a one-hit wonder? Now, let me pull it up right here. So he's never had a UK number one. He's had 4 UK top 10s. He's had 7 UK top 40s. He's had 8 UK top 75s. He's had 14 weeks in the top 10, which I think is actually quite decent, actually, to be fair. Now, let's look at his most successful single, Oliver Twist, which peaked at number 6. You got Wasted with Digga D, which peaked at number 6. But we're not going to use that. That doesn't count, right? That's as a feature. Flowers peaked at number 5. That's that. Say my name. You know that joint, yeah? Don't get any twisted. I wasn't singing the other song, yeah? I'm singing Artie, yeah? He had a couple of songs in 37, 41. We don't really care about that. Tion Wayne track with it was at 19. We don't care about. But anyway, Artie came from that that Russ remix, right? I can't actually remember which song it was, but it came from that. It came from that, yeah. Like a remix thing. I think it wasn't Becky one, was it? It was the other one. But anyways, that did very well as well. Shout out to Russ Millions. His album Peer Pressure, which is his debut album, peaked at number 2 on the UK charts. We're looking at UK charts right now. Peaked at number 2. One hit wonder. I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. Whoever that guy was, I'm sorry, you're talking hella smack. I don't even like Artie, yeah, but I know good music, yeah. I've interviewed a few people that knows him from his camp and a couple of artists and that I know that rolls with Artie. I don't need to like Artie. I respect Artie as an artist. I would definitely interview him. I think for the people that he makes music for the culture that it comes from, I genuinely think he's a very good artist and I respect his craft. I just can't listen to him. I don't really think he's not for me. He's not for somebody like me. And you gotta remember, I think a lot of people need to also understand when it comes to music, I'm not picky, but I know what I like and I know what I want to hear. And sometimes it ain't you, bro. It doesn't mean that you ain't. It doesn't mean you're dead, because I think Oliver Twist, don't like that song, but it's a good song. Flowers, again, good song. I think that's a vibe. After that, then it's just Russ Millions remix joint that he's in, and that's me kind of done with Artie. But don't forget War, Artie and 8 that also peaked at number 6. That did very, very well. Wasted with Digga D, you know what I mean? That's a big tune. Obviously, With It, 19, peaked at number 19, big tune. You got Jiggy as well, which peaked at 99. I'm surprised how poor that did, but you know, whatever. Early Hours, Hello Mate, with Kyla. He's got songs, so I wouldn't say he's a one-hit wonder. I mean, using the term one-hit wonder, I don't know if that TikTok thing was real or a joke, but I think it's an interesting point because I think in the UK, you don't actually need to have a hit to ever be cool. And I think this is why I wanted to bring on this conversation. In the UK, you don't actually have to have a hit to be cool. A hit in the UK, like, UK is so small that you can have a song that does 40 million views on YouTube but doesn't go any further than that in the chart. Doesn't even reach the charts. And you're cool. Do you get what I'm saying? In the UK, chart positions doesn't necessarily matter like that. So that's why I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you can call him a one-hit wonder because if you're talking like huge hit, huge plays on streaming services and stuff like that, then yeah, cool. You're probably gonna say My Name, the Flowers joint is probably his biggest hit. But chart wise, that's not true because he had like 2 other songs in the top 10 as well. He also got that remix with Ross Million. So specifically, he's got 4 hits. If you want to say something, he's got 4 hits, 4 or 5 hits already. It's not a one-hit wonder. I'm sorry. So for that reason earlier, I had to disagree with this Tommy Ute from TikTok. Anyway, I think that Tommy Ute is just out here talking smack because he saw RD and he was, you know, he wanted to get his balls sucked or something. Like, I don't know, he looked a bit too gaslight. You know, when man them are cussing somebody on live and the dude doesn't even know him, and then everybody's asking, "Do you know him?" Like, well, I can see the way bouncing that. Well, like, "Do you know him?" You're like, "No, I don't even know the Ute. Like, why is he talking like that?" But I mean, it makes you look even more moist, blood. Like, why are you talking? Bro, I can't even lie to you, man. This industry, bro. This industry, man, is hilarious. But that's the industry that we're in, and that's how people act. So we have to excuse the youngins, you feel me? Because certain man just don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, RD is not a one-hit wonder, should I say? Sorry, in my eyes. Do you guys believe that RD is a one-hit wonder? Let me know. I would love to know what you guys are thinking. But yeah, on to the next one, man. And this one's getting crazy, so I gotta take a sip for this one. Woo. Oh, this drink is actually quite nice. 6ix9ine. So, actually, the topic isn't actually 6ix9ine, but we are going to be talking about snitching. Now, Gunna snitched. Boston Richie snitched. Why are we not keeping that same energy? Because when 6ix9ine snitched, we was all over him. And rightly so. We should have been all over him because he was a waste man. 6ix9ine was talking that gang. Snitched. No longer gang. Cool, we get it. By the way, if you're watching a visual, you might see a cat running up and down. Yeah, the cat's outside right now doing the rounds in the crib. So if you see a random cat, I'm sorry. But 6ix9ine snitching, man. I really need to know what you lot are thinking about this one. So yeah, I want to know why the energy hasn't been kept the same for 6ix9ine. I think it's interesting when it came to, you know, 6ix9ine snitching, how quickly everybody was to jump on his neck, cancel him. You know, DSPs was moving mad. Listen, he was no longer trendy. He was no longer on Spotify platform, Apple Music playlisting. Like, people didn't want him anywhere to be seen. It was mad. Gunna, silence. The silence from hip-hop that I've seen is absolutely crazy. Now, big shout out to Lil Durk, because he came out, did a song, didn't keep it silent. So I respect Lil Durk for that. But for the rest of y'all broskies in the industry that be talking that smack, bro, I can't rate you, man. I'm sorry. Now, this ain't even a UK thing, because UK thing is snitching. It's the same thing, but I don't think it's at the same level as the US. But listen, streets are the streets. If you snitch, you're a snitch. And it's a funny story, actually. I was in a situation where I could have snitched and I could have gotten away with not having to do like community service and whatever. Like, it was years ago now, like bare years ago. Can't remember how old I was, but this is actually around the time I was studying. I was a teaching assistant. I was doing like an apprenticeship teaching assistant at the time, and anyway, long story short, there was like my brethren or ex-brethren, we're not even cool right now anyways, just growing up, not like I got beef with him or nothing like that. It's just, you know, sometimes you just grow up and people just want different things, normal. yeah, so we was in Shoreditch. So if you know Shoreditch, shout out to all my Londoners or people that's been to London, right? If you know Shoreditch, you got Box Park Shoreditch, and then if you come out of Box Park Shoreditch and you bust a left, you got that bridge. So just underneath that bridge, there was like this bunch of people, and one of them walked into one of my boys, and my boy kind of like retaliated, and he was kind of like looking like he was gonna beef the thing, and you know there's an altercation going on, and then one of our other boys, like just kind of just jumped in and was like, yeah, boom, banged him, and then obviously like whatever, like as mandem, as group of boys you do, you're just backing your boys. So we're just backing the team, whatever. Anyway, long story short, feds came. I then get arrested. Yada yada yada. Remember, I'm doing this teaching thing. I'm still doing the teaching thing now. It's not on my record anymore. That's how long ago it was. Just a long time ago now. It's like 19 and I'm young. Just want to say that I'm old now. Basically, yeah, I'm basically a whole bloody 10 years older now. I'm doing the maths. So the funny thing is, like, I get arrested. I'm chilling in. Like, they question you, right? Now they're showing me CCTV footage, bro. And the funny thing is, they're showing me CCTV footage. What happened was, so one of our boys was hitting the boy, and then this girl came in and he hit the chick too. So it was like a double pow. The girl thing was an accident, whatever. I mean, I saw it, so I know it was an accident. But obviously, in the CCTV footage, they don't know it's an accident. It looks like she just came forward. He banged her too, but he was trying to bang the boy. She jumped in front. She was really trying to save her boy. Respect. And then obviously, whatever, right? Now, because I got arrested and he didn't, all I had to do basically was snitch. All I had to do was say who he was, give the name, the date of birth, the ID. Bro, I could have got away with this whole thing. All I have to do was snitch, bro. Man, I'm from the streets. You heard? I'm from the streets. I didn't snitch. I was like, I don't know who that is. I was lying, bro. And they knew I was like, I don't know who that is. So they pinned the whole thing on me. They basically, I had to do like community service for like, I don't know, it was like 36 weeks. I don't know, it was some wild thing. It wasn't that long. A couple hours, like 100 hours. And it was once a week as well. So it's Lord. You're like there for like 4 or 5 hours, bro. And it's pulling in once a week. Do like 6-7 hours, trying to clear that 100 hours. I think it was like 120 hours I had to do. I can't remember. Of just community service. And then it left a record in like 5 years. And no school sees this in like 20 years time when I'm in school. But it's a matter though, isn't it? Because I actually didn't even do anything. I got convicted because I decided not to snitch. And then the two people, and do you know what made it the worst thing as well? When I'm in court, yeah, they're reading the description of the person that she said did whatever they did. This is how you know they don't rate black people. They read the description. I wasn't even a description. At that time, I was fat. I was at 19 stone. I was a big youth. No, was that a big youth then? No, sorry. I take that. I wasn't a big youth. I was quite slim. But they was reading, their definition was like short hair, slim built. I've always been like quite biggie built. Anyway, the description didn't match me, right? And the dude was like kind of light black. He wasn't like dark black. Like I'm quite dark, right? So the description didn't even match. Bro, nobody cared. My lawyers, because they saw the CCTV, they're like, the description doesn't match our client. They're like, oh no, pinning it on him. The man that know it weren't me, oh no, pinning it on me too. They're like, oh no, he did it. They're in court saying, oh, he did it. I'm like, what? Anyways, so I went from thinking I was gonna get a slap on the wrist. I should have snitched. I didn't want to snitch. A part of me now wishes I snitched, because you see that boy there when I didn't snitch? No thank you. Didn't even holler at me again. Didn't want to hear, because basically he had been jail before. So he was like, oh, I can't go to jail. I was like, don't worry, I ain't going to snitch. You think I ain't going to put you back in jail? I was like, bro, it'll be my first thing. I'm a teacher. I'm thinking about all the good possibilities. I'm working in a school. They're probably gonna look at me like I'm a bit different. I'm telling them exactly what happened, but with minor details, because I'm leaving out all the homies, of course, because I ain't a snitch. So I'm leaving out all the homies, and then I'm just trying to like, sorry, my laptop went off, and I'm just trying to like do my thing, right? So I'm just telling him what went down without incriminating anyone. So anyway, long story short, that goes down, whatever. Fam. Oh, I don't even know what my point was, but I'm just trying to say, like, I could have snitched and nobody would have cared because I'm not from the streets. But even I didn't snitch. Gonna? Are you part of the gang? Yes. Oh, you don't see that footage? Yo, the snitching went in. But yeah, I'm just very surprised that the people them didn't keep that same energy. And I kind of want to know if people in the industry, I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like he's just very liked, isn't he? He's a liked musician, he's a liked person, and I think people ain't snitching because they just want to hear from Young Thug. They want to hear Young Thug say he's a snitch. And I think with the evidence out there, I'm very, very surprised that that's the angle that people are taking. Very, very surprised that that's the angle. But you know what? If that's the angle you want to take, do your thing, man. I just think it's a bit wild. I don't agree with it. I think once you're a snitch, you're always a snitch. And if Firahs don't need to snitch, shout out to all the man that know me out there. Nah, me not gonna snitch. Me not gonna snitch. That's what I'm saying. That's funny. Anyways, back to another story. Ed Sheeran dropped his tribute to Jamal Edwards on SBTV, which was shot at Chelsea's football club Stamford Bridge Stadium. For people who don't know, Jamal Edwards supported Chelsea as well, so that was a beautiful feat to see. I think it was dope to see Ed Sheeran just come out of his usual poppy vibe and, you know, drop like a nice little rap there, nice vocals as well. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to tell you a funny story. I don't think it was that funny, but it was a story. I went to see Chelsea women ladies play for the very, very, very first time at Chelsea Football Club Stadium. I ended up taking my two boys with me, K Triggs and Joe M. Gay, which was very fun. And it was funny because I was outside, I think it's Fulham Broadway station, right? That's the station that's right next to Chelsea Football Club, right? I think it's Fulham Broadway. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But yeah, I think that's the closest station. And I'm standing at the station, I'm waiting for two of my boys, we're waiting for K Triggs and Joe, and I'm just chilling. Anyways, as I'm at the station, I'm chilling, whatever. This dude is like just standing next to me, right? I don't know why I'm always having these weird link-ups with celebrities being in random places and always standing in front of me. I don't know if I'm a magnet and man just want to be near me. Shout out to the correct conversation, you saw that the other day. But anyways, I'm standing outside Fulham Broadway on my phone, got the tunes on, I'm bopping my head. This brother stands next to me. Tall brother, bro. Jamal was kind of tall, you know, bruh. Anyway, he's standing next to me. Obviously, rest in peace, by the way. One of the pioneers of the game. But yeah, so he's standing next to me. And at this point, I don't know it's Jamal Edwards, innit? So I don't know who he is. So he's just standing there, right? I'm bopping my head, doing my thing, yada, yada, yada. Jamal Edwards, and I think somebody come to link him. Looking like some rich bro. I don't even know, but that dude was in a suit, blood. Looking like he's made out of money. And I'm assuming they got the box in Chelsea, right? Clearly they got the box set. They're just chatting. So I'm bopping my head, I'm doing my thing. And obviously, 2-2 that you go into the games, a man's got a little drink, you get at me. We was going to like some, I think it was like Hackney Carnival, it was called straight after. So I had that carnival vibe too, because we was not getting lit, but you know, we was getting the drinks in as well to go to a little carnival thing. So man's just like sipping my drink, getting a bit wavy. So obviously, like as I'm waiting for him, I'm overly like moving, bump into this brother now. And I kind of give him that look like, yo, bro, man's been here for hours. I look up and I'm like, oh, Jamal. Like, I went from, yo, oh, Jamal. Like, I proper changed my tone mid trying to like. And by the way, guys, that's not me being a gang dude or like I'm hard or anything like that. Like, I'm just the type of person that like, I love to, I defend myself. Whether I win or lose, I'll take all out. I will lose every fight, but I will never like not stand on my word. And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of them ones. Don't mean I'm anything special though. So if you catch me in the street and try to rob me, I'll most likely give my bag and we'll come and buy another batch. I don't care. I ain't got time to fight with y'all if you're trying to rob me. Like, if you ain't got time for that, like, I've got stories to tell about being robbed. I might tell a story after this one. But anyway, I go, oh, yo, Jamal. And then obviously, like, Jamal looks at me, I look at him. He gives me a little spud and that. And I'm like, oh, what? You here to watch the Chelsea ladies? Yeah. And he's like, yeah. And obviously, like, I support Man United, innit? So people that don't know. So I'm like, I'm looking at Jamal. I'm like, I hope your ladies lose, you know. And he's just creasing. And he's like, no, come on, we got this. The ladies got this. And then obviously, we spoke for like 5-10 minutes. Obviously, I was just telling him, oh, yeah, I'm trying to do this journalism thing. I got to appreciate him, though, because he literally stopped talking to the boy that he was with and gave me 5-10 minutes of his time outside a packed train station with bare man and trying to get his attention. And obviously, I just got it by being a bit waved and gassed, innit? But no, big shout out to Jamal Edwards, man. You know, I think even that little conversation that we had, at that time, I wasn't a journalist. To be fair, I'm not really a journalist anyway. I'm a self-proclaimed journalist. I call myself a journalist because I think I can be the hottest journalist in the streets right now. And I am. I genuinely believe I am. Wait till you see my documentary that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? When that comes out, peak. But yeah, shout out to Jamal Edwards, man. Rest in peace, man. One of the pioneers of the UK scene. One of the first to ever do it on YouTube in terms of giving artists a platform to promote themselves, to do the raps, the freestyles, the music videos, all of that. He's one of the pioneers. So, may his legacy live on. And if we don't get an award show called the Jamal Edwards Award Show, bro, something on Jamal's names needs to be official within the staple of the culture. I genuinely believe that. Like, bro, growing up, I always wanted to be on SBTV. I never got to do it. I wasn't a good rapper growing up, so of course I wasn't going to pay no P's to be on his channel at the time. But, bro, what he's done for the industry alone is crazy. And, I've only got my utmost respect for him. Nothing bad to say about him. I just, he's a wonderful dude. From my interaction with him for just that 5-10 minutes, like, the advice I was being given, bro, it was crazy. And I tried to cheekily slide in like, oh, you should come on my show, and I never actually hollered at him. So it's funny, he did say he hit me up, and I didn't do it because I thought he only said that because of that moment. And I might have been wrong. Somebody might come on and be like, bro, you're a waste, man. And I probably am. I probably should have just hollered him again. And the position that I'm at now, when I've actually interviewed celebrities, I wasn't at that level at that time, if that makes sense. So I wasn't interviewing celebrities. I wasn't working on radio yet. My take was solely based on YouTube, and the views wasn't great yet. You know what I'm saying? So it was a bit like, I don't know. I don't know if he actually saw my YouTube channel, would he still want to come on? That was my mindset. I didn't know if he would still want to come on if he actually saw the views on the channel, because they weren't that great. A couple of thousand views here and there, maybe 2-3K here and there, but it wasn't like I was doing mad numbers. So yeah, I kind of pussied out on that one. But I'll never find out if that was the correct thing to do. But you never know. I might have been the hottest in the streets, but I didn't think Firahs was the hottest in the streets yet. So, yeah, man. Anyway, shout out to my man Ed Sheeran on the tune, Jamal Edwards. Yo, man, it's crazy. Before I have a little quick sip there. Another one right there. I want to talk about something. This is just to end the podcast. So we spoke for about 44 minutes solo dolo, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Sometimes I don't even need a guest, fam. I'm hottest. I'm saying 44 minutes, but I'm about to cut myself blowing my nose earlier. I've been ill for like the past 2 days, so I did blow my nose. But I'm not keeping that in, so you don't want to know in that one, but you know now. I want to talk about, when is it time to say goodbye to your friends? Or when is it time to move on? Like, move from a different chapter in your life. I think it's interesting because just recently I was cool with this dude. I've been cool with him for many years. We claim to be brothers from another mother, like, all that kind of stuff. We've kind of like stopped talking before and then talked again, and he's not even the only one. There's been several people like that. And honestly, I just feel like now that I'm not around that kind of energy, my life is a lot better. And it's funny because one of my boys still to this day that I'm cool with, man, like Joe MK, still be like, oh, you're not gonna start talking again. I'm like, nah, I don't see the point. And you know, I feel like in life it gets to the point where friendship isn't matching where you're heading, right? So one of my boys, no names, but he's like a party head. He loves to party. He loves to drink. He does his thing. No offense, bro. He keeps going to these clubs where it's like 18 plus, bro. Like, bro, I ain't trying to see chicks at 18, 19 in the club. I ain't gonna count. When I hear the word teen, bro, I'm not even trying to hear 20. Like, do you know what I'm saying? 21 and over, but listen, I prefer chicks to be at least 20, like 23, 24 is cool. Like, now that I'm reaching that age, obviously I'm not even looking for chicks anyway, so not that deep, but I'm just saying, like, if I was openly searching 23, 24, let's start from there and work your way up, right? But anyways, my point is, he's still at that really party stage, spending bare pee, going out to drink every night, no morals, and I'm looking at him like, bro, I'm not into that anymore. Like I'm not there. And when I chill with him, sometimes I feel like I'm only rolling with him because I really used to enjoy those nights when we were like 21, 20, 19, and we'll just go out, like, do you know what I'm saying? Crazy night, get home at 8 a.m., bus to work at like 9. Like, I used to love doing that with him, and I think sometimes I fall into the trap of I'm trying to force myself to want to roll with him and have those great moments, but we're not gonna ever have those great moments. Like, let's just talk fact. I'm not into what he's into. I'm out here doing my journalism shit, the music shit, my documentary shit, my whatever shit, radio thing. Like, man's really building something right now, you feel me? And he's just not. Like, he's still stuck in 21. Like, he's not really doing anything, and it's not like he's not doing anything. It was like, I think he's like finishing uni now, whatever, like, you know, after like failing like 20 times. Like, he's doing his thing, and I love him for it, and I want to see him be better, but he's not ready to mature to that level yet. He's still acting like a teen. Like, fam, how you still going to a club with 18 plus chicks, bro? And you know what? One of the times when I realized, and I don't really know if I should be saying it, but I'm not saying his name, so no one knows who I'm talking about. It was when he was trying to move to a chick that was like 18 when he was at uni. He's like 20. I think at the time he was like 27, 28. It's like 2 years ago. And she was at he was at uni, and obviously because he's retaking years because he keeps failing, my dude was still dealing with first years. So he took chatting to a chick that's like 18. And it made me look at him like, bro, what are you doing? Like, the chick's 18. You're like almost 30. Well, you're like 3 years away from 30. And you're talking to me about this chick. She's a youngin', bro. And I wasn't even like, it's not even like it's illegal, so it's not that deep. But to me, it's like, I'm looking at him like, bro, we're not on that level anymore. Like, don't do this. Like, don't do that. Like, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? So it was an interesting thing. Let me know as well. I might put a poll for this one. What's your age bracket when it comes to these things, bro? For the man them, for the girl them. What's the age bracket? What's the age gap that's acceptable? Because I don't know. I was looking at him at 27, talking to 18-year-old, 9-year gap. Nah, bro. Sorry. Nah. Fam, she's in her teens. You feel me? Once you reach 25, yeah, unless you're just trying to whack a thing that's 18, I might let that slide still. That's a bit mad. But fam, if you're 27 and still chatting to things that are teens, you're not a man. You're a kid. You're a kid. You're an absolute kid, bro. Like, you're the type of dude that'll be like, oh yeah, I can't talk to a chick that's got a child. Like, you know them immature behaviors there when you can't even chat to a girl because she's got a child. I laugh, fam. That's a kid's behavior, bro. There's a difference between I don't want to be the father to your child, but you acting like her having a child is a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't have to be into women with kids, But a mature man would have a mature response to a woman with a child. It won't be, I won't mess with you because you got a child. It will just be either, A, I'm not ready to be a father right now. B, I just want to be able to raise my own kids. Like, you know, you have like a mature response. But people like that are chatting to 18-year-olds are gonna run around and say, "Oh, no, man, you got a child, bro. Oh, no, that's butters, fam." Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like a child, fam. That's the kind of brothers that are still chasing 18-year-olds at a big age. Nah, that, fam. Nah. Sorry, bro. Had to take another sip for that one. But yeah, I just feel like it's always time for people to say goodbye to friends when they no longer match what you're chasing, what you're about, your new way of thinking, your new way of life. Because I think, like, even for one of my other brethren that I was cool with, like, we used to do music together and that, like, I was at his house every week, it was cool, it was lit. I just feel like we reached a stage where I think with me and him it's different, because I think he feels like he has a full-on input to the career path that I've chosen. I mean, musically maybe, but apart from that, I don't know. But for man to claim that they made you, I mean, you gotta do something, right? But yeah, I think with him it was just one of them ones where the path just didn't it didn't match anymore. I personally, the jealousy thing got over. I think jealousy took it over for his side. I mean, he was complaining that I wasn't bringing him out, taking him here, not inviting him to X, Y, and Z. And in my head, I'm like, bro, like, I was just bringing out people that made sense. I can't bring people out. It was a business thing. Man's talking about coming festivals and bro, I don't even know what's going on. But anyway, sometimes when the energy is dead, you just gotta let go. And I think I found that difficult because I hate letting go sometimes. I'm very good at, once I have something, I like to keep them. I want to keep people about. But I've learned, like, at this point in my life, honestly, I don't care anymore. Like, fam, if I don't respond to your dumb ass after like a week, don't think I'm your boy, fam. Let's talk facts. I mean, I talked to a couple of people, them. Obviously, I don't respond to everybody quickly because I'm busy. I got things to do. But bruh, if you think we're boys and I don't respond to you, like, just keep it leaving, bro. Because I just don't care, bro. Like, I'm doing me. I support the people I want to support. I'm in the industry where I'm always supporting artists anyway. So I do support a lot of artists. I do what I got to do, from the radio thing, radio spins, interview, shout outs, polls. I do my thing for the people them as well. But I don't need to be your friend to support you. If I respect your music, respect your craft, man, will be about. So yeah, that's why I end it on that little friendship thing, since we was talking about that. I think this is the longest I've ever spoken on once. Anyway, but listen, man, it's your boy Firahs. It's been a Firahs podcast. This is a place where, I get to vent, talk my shit. We're going to have bare guests coming on very soon from next week. So, we're the hottest podcast in the UK right now, man, because the UK ain't got it like Firahs. I can't even cap. So, yeah, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. It comes out on Fridays. Have a great weekend. Get lit. And I'll catch you back here on Monday. Usual vibes. And, yeah, man. We out.